Sorry, my shift is over. Many years ago, I worked for a cafeteria/catering company. The catering was much the more lucrative of the two. Between mealtimes we would work on catering projects. This would often run us past the end of our shift, resulting in overtime. One of the management team, recently promoted, decided his thing was going to be eliminating overtime. He held a meeting and announced to the staff there would be no more overtime. Clock out at shift's end, no exceptions. After, he got me aside and told me as a supervisor, I was expected to set an example. Okay, sure. A couple days later, I was working on a cheese display. When my shift's end came around, I put everything down, walked to the clock and swiped my card. I hear, "Hey, where are you going? That's not finished." "No, but my shift is. I'm setting an example," I answered. "Well, go finish it." "I can't. I'm off work now." And left. The next day it was announced that all projects underway at the time would be allowed to be finished regardless of time, as long as it wasn't abused. In other words, no foot dragging. Turns out all the hourly employees also left, and he had to finish several projects by himself. Since he was on salary, there was no overtime for him. I understand he stayed quite late.
This is why if you start a new job as a manager you don't touch anything for at least a month so you can see how things do or don't work. If you are thinking of changing things, ask some of the people who have been around for a while what they think first.
Good for you. Serves him right.
He went to school for supervisors. They said, "Screw your employees, eliminate overtime." No thought to adapting to situations, just get rid of it, and he did, then he didn't. Unfortunately typical. The spirit of running a successful company has lessened over time and bottom line is the focus. What they don't understand is that creating loyal employees is much more lucrative over time.
It amazes me how much employers fail to understand overtime. Overtime is a signal to management that inefficiencies exist or there is a need for more workers. Arbitrarily forbidding or eliminating overtime is never the answer. Overtime is a valuable symptom to let you know there is a bigger issue to address.
Managerial thinking: if I eliminate overtime, the exact same amount of work will get done, and it will cost less money. Why hasn't anyone thought of this before me?
My Dill was promoted to manager, and I use term loosely. She was glorified slave. She was told no one was allowed over 20 hours, even previous full-time people. She told them no one would stay. That's her problem, they said. Guess who worked salary and was never home?
Well played.
A good company doesn't need overtime, it hires enough people to do the damn job.
Had this with the co-op in the UK and Delhi staff. No overtime after 9 p.m. closing. But they wanted the deli open until closing time. With no time for cleaning. So the evening staff left everything dirty and food left out. The morning staff had no time to clean anything and had to throw all of the food away. Lasted a day until they relented. A little OT here and there to finish a project is okay. If your company has crazy OT, you're understaffed and management needs to fix it before the exodus starts. When OT becomes a burden to your quality of life, all you want is out.
You catered to his demand and taught him a lesson. Great job.
Had the exact same thing happen at a pizza place I worked at. I pulled 60 hours weeks regularly until boss got mad I was making so much overtime. Then pretty much repeated this story.
It astounds me how many manglers are pound foolish and penny wise.
When will the MBA crowd learn overtime isn't the issue?
Well, if you think about it, he achieved his goal and eliminated OT. Good for him. Is no overtime for salaried workers a thing anywhere outside of the US? I'm salaried. I work 40 hours a week. If I have to stay longer someday I can leave or come in later another day. I can also choose to be paid 150% or 200% of my hourly rate. That's guaranteed by law. That's awesome. Nice taste of his own medicine. It never stops to amaze me when new managers come into a job and they need to change things in order to look good. If it works, leave it alone. If it doesn't work, the employees. It's always on the management. They can either approve overtime, or they can hire enough staff. If they want to cut both, then they get to make up the difference. Most of the posts under this sub have the same plot. New manager comes in, enforces something that shouldn't be enforced. Everyone complies maliciously. Bottom line, if it's working, don't try to fix it, period. Applicable to machines, process and code.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.